There's something really special about reverse isekai animes. I'll be honest, I haven't really watched a lot of isekai animes. I've enjoyed the heck out of Konosuba, Yojusenki, Overlord, and so on. But there's one genre I really love watching, and that's reverse isekai. In a normal isekai, the main character from our modern day world would somehow end up in another world, be it teleportation or a summoning or death or just run over by Truckun. And this new world is usually a classic fantasy world with magic, knights, wizards, and other D&D like stuff. But in a reverse isekai, you take someone from a fantasy world and put them into ours. And if you know me, I love these animes, and a lot of them end up like slice of lives, such as Miss Kobayashi Dragon Maid, The Devil's a Part-Timer, or Elf Can't Diet. Each one about a person from another world brought to ours to experience what life is like here with all our comforts and struggles. And from my point of view, it gives a similar effect to looking at it through a child's eyes, filled with nothing but wonder and excitement. And to share her experiences with being isekai to this world, I would like to introduce the lovely Jakella. Would you kindly introduce yourself to the viewers before we start?
Yeah. Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Jakella, but most people call me Ja or Big Sis. I am a hybrid fire and air dragon that is currently stuck in this dimension. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine. So I just want to help us discuss your experiences. I have prepared a few questions for you. So to just
Okay.
start us off, I was wondering,
Mhm.
how did it feel to moving from one environment to another, like from your dimension to this one? And I don't mean physically. I want to state it's more like your mental state and such.
Emotionally and everything.
Yep.
Okay. Well, first of all, it was catastrophic coming to this dimension. My mere existence in this dimension started to make, how should I say this? Made this dimension, this world start to crumble. Natural disasters started to happen. The world started to open up because this world cannot contain the amount of magical power that I have. So
Ah,
my
okay.
base form, my original form, was too much magical power. So the this world, yes, that's what
Yes.
I was like, what word do I need? This world couldn't contain it. So I have an app on my, I guess in this dimension you'd call it a cell phone,
Okay.
something of the same equivalent
Yes, yes.
that tells me how much magical power each dimension I visit can take. And this dimension could take 0.07% basically.
Ah, so very low compared to how you normally are in your world.
Yes, or in other dimensions, it is one of the lowest
Ah, I see.
magical.
Okay.
Mm, yeah. So I had to immediately seal my powers and s- seal my powers, which meant that I had to seal my horns, my tail, my wings, my original form, basically, so that me existing in this dimension didn't completely destroy it. So one, it was so that was very stressful. I
Yeah.
might have killed the whole,
Yeah,
not even
definitely.
the world, not of only this planet, but probably the whole dimension. So that was stressful. I didn't want to do that. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, I get ya. It's like you're
And
a being that can destroy everything just by existing, kind of thing.
yeah, and that's not something I'm used to. It was very new for me. I never thought that that would be my mere existence could destroy a dimension.
Yeah, yeah.
Very. Secondly, I was very sad as well because I had to come here because I had no choice, basically. I, to travel through dimensions, I use a magical device called the Portal Watch. And each dimension that you travel to takes up a certain amount of power. And the last dimension I went to, honestly, it was kind of prohibited, but it wasn't necessarily technically said so in that many words. You know?
Yeah, I
So
get it.
I didn't really do anything illegal when I
Mm-hmm.
got there, but when I got there and I finally was able to contact my family and my best friend, they told me that apparently it became prohibited and no one should go there until the the what are they called? The
Like the
observation committee,
apocalypse.
or
Oh, okay, I see, I see.
they're
Yeah, yeah.
basically the authorities. I don't remember their name. It's been so long now
So
that they've
like
come and checked.
researchers.
Yeah, they're basically researchers. They go to each dimension beforehand to scope it out, put up the communication devices so we can use our telephone, like your equivalent to a telephone or cell phone or whatever, to
Okay.
talk to each other no matter which dimension we're, and also to scope out the area, natural resources, get an understanding of the life forms that are living there, their way of life, etc. So we have a kind of an idea when we go to each dimension what to expect. I hate that. I like to go to a dimension completely unaware and just have fun in it and learn
So
about it.
I see.
So this
So yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, so this was a dimension that was actually not explored before, and I was like, "Oh, ah, it's not prohibited technically. I need to go there before anyone else do." It was my adventurous, inquisitive side. I regret nothing. It was the most magical planet I've ever been on. Dimension actually. So it took a lot of energy to get there, and my watch actually got to about 30% or 20%, which is not enough to go back to the dimension I came from or my home dimension. It was only enough power to come to this dimension. So, decisions were made and I just had to do it. And the sad thing about it is the Portal Watch can only be charged by um listen to me. Don't get me the wrong way.
Yeah, yeah. I get
It's
you.
not as bad. It's not as bad as it's going to sound. Trust me, it's not bad. Okay? Just have an open mind, guys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get you.
um
I've met like strange people from strange places, so I
all
don't.
right.
I can't judge.
Yeah. Okay, good. So, the Portal Watch is charged by the life energy of intelligent life forms. And we usually collect this life energy by the love that people show to us. So usually we would use charm magic, like large scale charm magic in the case where we want to leave a dimension very quickly, collect the energy and just leave. And once you leave that dimension, the magic wears off. And the life energy also recharges, and we would never take it from just one person because that would be too deadly and it wouldn't be able to charge the watch either. It
Yeah,
wouldn't
sure.
be enough.
Yeah,
Yeah. The only thing with this whole dimension is there is no intelligent life form whatsoever, but it has an abundance of natural resources. So great that I can understand why the researchers or the committee did not want anyone else to go there before they did. They wanted to capitalize on it for themselves. So, not only do I know information that I shouldn't know because they wanted to get their hands on it first, I technically went to a prohibited dimension, I guess. So I had one of two choices: dip, leave, or wait until they come, and who knows what would have happened. So I made the trip to the closest dimension that I could get to, and it took up the last percentages of my watch, and it was this one, a dimension that couldn't contain even 1% of my magical abilities, my magical power, not even my original form. So, yes, stressed, sad, and a little anxious. Many emotions. were going through my mind at that
Uh,
point.
I see, but how about like how did it feel like transferring from not I like in a way that differs like your the way you live
Like,
your
what are
life.
the differences?
Yes,
Okay,
I
well,
don't mean like physical differences, like the way the way
mhm,
you've done things have obviously changed, but how has it
yeah,
changed with transferring from this kind of environment to another? Have you felt a
well,
type of loneliness since there obviously aren't other half dragon, well, dragon kind in where I can assume that you're living in right now that I know about at the very least? Or have
yeah.
you felt a type of like you felt that you were more special because you're more unique in this kind of place and you get to find more unique things and experience things that definitely not that many people of your kind have actually felt to this kind of extent?
Okay, well, for one, I don't really feel unique. I feel more like an outcast here. And that's because there's no one else like me here. Not only that, it feels like this whole world is rejecting my existence. I love my original form. I believe that I'm very beautiful and I have a lot of confidence in my original form.
Okay,
And
I
not
see.
being able to show that, not being able to be my true self is something that really weighs on me and it makes me very sad to not be able to be my true and authentic self. For instance, like even though my original form is sealed currently, I'm able to show my horns and my scales without it passing the
Yeah,
0.007% magic
the limit.
threshold. Yeah, without passing the magical limit. So in my house, I'm able to at least showcase that and I'm able to be myself in my house. But when I leave, I have to put on a camouflage, a human skin to go out and work in the daily life. I'm not able to show anyone who I am. I'm not able to do what I do. The norms in this dimension, this whole planet that I'm living on is so different to what I am used to. It was very hard to get used to actually. There was a huge learning curve that I had to go through.
Oh
And
yeah,
I've been here
definitely.
for yeah, I've been here for a couple of years too until I found streaming. It
Ah,
was a
okay, I see.
very yeah, it was a very random talking to some coworkers one day
Mm-hmm.
and they introduced me to streaming. And this is where I ironically found vampires, demons, extraterrestrial aliens
Like other quote
on
unquote outcasts kind of thing.
outcasts exactly on this app called Twitch,
Mm-hmm.
being their selves, showing their true forms, at least to the extent that they're able to, and not having to fear being judged or, you know, hated for that and actually being loved for that. So this was also a great way to have people love me because I cannot use my charm magic because if I use my magic, even level 1 magic, it would be
Yeah.
too powerful. So I cannot collect the energy that I need to charge my watch. So I'm currently stuck. So when I realized not only were they able to show their real selves, they were also able to get people to love them and get to know them, I was like, this is the perfect way to not only be my true authentic self and help people and enjoy my time in this dimension more. It was also a great way to charge my portal watch. Because as I said before, my portal watch uses life energy and the way we collect that is from the love that people give us,
Also,
which
it's
is
like a
why I
kind of
decided.
a it's kind of like a two birds with one stone kind of thing to help
Exactly.
to like help entertain yourself, to help you make your time in this dimension more pleasant, I suppose, while also recharging
Charging my
your
portal watch.
watch. Okay, I
Yeah.
see.
And I was able to be my authentic self. So that's where the journey has started. And I currently moved to Japan. So I'm in a whole new environment now. after years of being here and just starting this Twitch thing. So it's been fun so far, actually. Getting a community, getting people to love me, and getting the watch. It still is not, it's at like, yeah, it's not even at 1% yet. Ah, yeah, it takes a lot to charge this watch, a whole lot.
Okay, I see.
It's going to
I
take
get
a
it.
while.
But to add to this, I was also wondering how, well, obviously since you are a dragon living among, well, people, how differently have you been treated by the people around you when they notice your horns and your tail, for example? Do they treat
Oh,
you
well,
well, or do they
no.
treat you more like do they treat you much like an outsider, or just out of like curiosity, like they see your thing and they're just more
Well,
intrigued about it?
well, honestly, when I'm outside in the real world, outside in society, I have to have a camouflage.
Yeah,
If I ever went outside without my camouflage on, they'd probably think I'm cosplaying at most. No one would actually think I have real horns now, would they?
fair enough.
Or real skills. They'll probably just think I'm cosplaying. So, honestly, I have actually gone outside before like that. I actually did.
Hmm.
And yeah, people stared at me and just whispered things like, "What is this person doing? Is there a cosplaying event happening?" And just giving me looks like this person is weird. Um, so other than that, I've, I mean, I'm a dark skin dragon, so that also has the whole this dimension's whole thing with that with
Yeah,
black people. So that was a whole new learning curve for me as well. I had to get used to the realities that a black person has to go through because in my dimension we don't have that discrimination based on your skin color. It's a very weird and almost
foreign
like
concept kind of thing.
inconceivable concept to think that people would actually think that your skin color means that there's anything superior about you. So that concept isn't in my dimension. And, so that was a learning curve I had to get used to as well. But other than that, my my original form is only not my original form, though my scales and my horns are really only showcased on stream. And everyone has been really nice to me and really welcoming. The community has been very amazing. However, people keep calling me a succubus, which I am not. I am
Yes.
not a succubus. I am not taking your energy with lustful ways to use for my own gain. I don't need your life energy to survive or anything. I don't live off of it. I just need to charge my portal watch. I am not a succubus. And if you say that, I will bonk you. I will
Okay,
bonk
that
you into next year.
okay, that's a good warning for the viewers at least.
Exactly. Don't do it.
Okay.
Bonks everywhere.
Okay, now to move on to the second question. I want to ask
Hmm.
I want to ask if you didn't get isekai to this new environment and just stayed in your dimension, do you think that you'd be in a better or a worse state of
I'd
being,
be
I
no,
mean?
I'd be bored out of my mind. This us tra- I'm not the only person that travels from dimension to dimension.
Oh
It
yeah,
is a
yeah,
coming of
definitely.
age thing for everyone in my dimension basically.
Yes.
When you get to a certain age, um we all go on our own adventures. We all go and explore the vast dimensions because it helps us grow up and learn things. We definitely don't travel with each other. We are actually deterred from traveling with our friends or people we like or anything like that because it is a growing um it's a growing what should I say, adventure, a growing step for us. It's
So
where
more
we
like
learned.
a personal growth type of trip.
Yeah, a coming of age. Yes, that's
Ah,
what
yes,
the
that's a better word.
this planet calls it. Yes, coming of age story basically for us. So for me, if I was stuck in my dimension, I would be bored out of my mind, actually losing my shit, because it would mean I would have never gone on the adventures I did before. And honestly, even though I'm currently stuck in this dimension and it's very different, I have found things I liked about it. I love matcha Pocky. There's no matcha Pocky in my dimension. I want to
Okay,
bring it
yeah.
back with me. I
I
want to bring it.
You wanna bring it back?
um, yes, there's so many things about this dimension that I've come to love and enjoy. It comes with its cons as well, but there are things that have come to become an integral part of my life, and I really do appreciate that. So me being stuck in my original home, tragic, honestly. No one wants that. I regret none of my decisions, even going to that dimension that I shouldn't have gone to, that prohibited one. I regret nothing. It was a great adventure. Honestly, it was the best time of my life. Even though there was no intelligent life form, it was amazing. I have so many stories about that. That's for another day.
Okay, that's actually really good to hear. At least you were able to not only adapt to this new world but also prosper and find more solace with this new dimension that you're in.
Yeah. And I really love anime here and manga. It's great. The entertainment here is really good. The entertainment back home is great too, but this is a new flavor. It's a new flavor, and I like it. I do.
Is there anything that you couldn't do in your past dimension that you are more that it's more free for you to do in this one, where like something that not something that you can't physically do, but more of something that's more societal that you couldn't do in the old dimension but you can do in this current one?
Hmm. That's kind of hard. The only thing that's coming to my head is streaming, mainly because this concept isn't really in my dimension. Not because we don't have the technology. We have really advanced technology. It's more that there's different forms of entertainment, and usually people around my age aren't even in our own dimension when we were coming of age. And when we go back to our own dimensions, we have different responsibilities that we're taking up. So streaming is a new concept to me. Being out in front of the camera, entertaining people the way I try to do, playing video games, talking with chat, and doing different content for them to enjoy is a whole this whole social media thing.
Yeah.
In our dimension, we do have something very similar to it, but the way that it's become so kind of a little obsessive is
Mm-hmm.
very new to me because we're always on the move and interacting with different dimensions. So we tend to get more invested in our own adventures rather than quote unquote social media. So it's been interesting to say the least, getting my taste of obsession with it.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. Like when like personally, I actually never cared much about social media. I never even pictured myself like streaming or doing this kind of things, but because of a lot of inspirations I've seen online, I decided to why not give this a try for a second time because I actually have done this before, but that's a story for another day. And now I've actually met a lot of great people. I have met you, the rest of Sim Squad, Ghost, Kai, etc. And it's really been nice for me. And seeing how you were able to adapt and prosper is really inspiring for small streamers like me from other dimensions. I'm from the hell world. I'm from the fire world, I mean. And there are. I'm surprised at the amount of other fire people that I never realized were also from where I'm from.
Mm. Or from different dimensions.
Yes, also that.
Yeah. There are a lot of people or a lot of beings that are in this dimension currently that are not from here. It's very interesting. I love
that's
hearing their stories and how they actually ended up here. It's very interesting.
that's primarily the main reason why I decided to get you, since you were the first person that came to mind when I was making this video discussing the reverse isekai anime.
Oh, I'm honored.
Okay, so now time for the last question. If
Yeah.
you somehow manage to like recharge your watch, and you can actually move between dimensions normally, like back and forth from this dimension the other dimension, would you prefer to stay in this dimension, or would you prefer to stay in that dimension and just visit the one you didn't choose?
Well, first of all, to get my watch charged up, it is a very, very,
Long
very
process,
big
yeah.
goal. It's to try to quantify it for you. I would need 100,000 followers and 50,000 subscribers if we're quantifying it in Twitch only,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that right there is massive goal right there already. So you know what? I will reserve that question to when I actually am close to that. We'll get to that when we're actually somewhere close to that. Cuz at this point I don't see myself getting being able to go back now,
Okay,
sadly.
that's a fair argument. Okay, I think that's all our questions done. And for the viewers, if you want to watch Ja on Twitch, the link is down below. And where else can they find you?
They can also find me on Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. I'll be uploading some YouTube videos shortly, so keep an eye out for that. And more
Okay,
TikToks.
I'll be placing the links down below along with her Twitch, of course. So I think that's about it. Thank you for joining us very much, Ja. And
It was a
to con-
pleasure.
okay, and now to continue, I used to always envy isekai protagonists, having these monster slaying adventures, commanding armies, and leading kingdoms. But watching more reverse isekai anime has given me a different point of view. Instead of wishing for life to bring you excitement, you bring some excitement to your life. Try to view life under a new lens and see how interesting this world already is, or how it can be even more interesting. But there is a difference between making your life exciting and doing what this guy did. He tried to do what he saw in a manga.